Hello, Paul Wilkinson here. This is a video looking at what we can learn from just a piece from a great composer. So today we're going to talk about Chopin, and we're going to have a look at one of his very famous pieces from his Preludes for piano. And this is Prelude No. 4 in E minor from his collection of preludes, as I said. I'm just going to play the opening section for you now, and then we're going to talk about what we can learn from this, what we can steal from it, if you like, what we can use to develop as in our compositions or in our songwriting or in our improvisation. So let me play a little bit. I won't play all of it, but I'll play the opening of this piece by Chopin. So in this video, I'm going to take some of those chord movements, talk about what Chopin's doing, talk about when he's moving one of the notes in the chord and moving it down or moving it up, and what we can learn from that. And in a way, trying to get rid of using theory of music and actually just moving the voices either side of a chord. So having a chord and then moving one note up and one note down and seeing what we can learn from that. And I'll demonstrate that around C major, the relative key being A minor, and also we'll have a look at the parallel minor maybe as well, a little bit of C minor. And I'll also just talk about the opening melody and this particular note and how we might explore that note. The idea of these series of videos is just to dip into this rich wealth of repertoire from these great composers. And I myself as a musician, many of my musical friends will be chatting, they'll say, oh, have you seen this in bar 5 of Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, so he's moving from this chord to this. So it's a very rich area that a lot of musicians spend a lot of time geeking out about. So without further ado, let's explore the beginning of this Chopin piece and see what we can learn from it. Okay, so let's have a look at this first chord. G, B and E. Let's get rid of that E and put it down at the bottom. We have an E minor chord. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. So here Chopin starts with 8 of these. Then he drops one by a semitone and one by a tone. Right, let's look at that movement there. So as I said earlier, all these examples, let's explore C major and C minor. So let's pick a chord relative to C major, which would be the A minor chord. So there we go, we've got A minor, A, C and E. And I'm going to work out what a drop would be. Now, I'm not too worried if I do exact transposition. I'm looking for a feeling of it. So I'm feeling that I might want to just try that. So I've just dropped that down. You could even drop just one of them like that, which would be interesting. But let's do that. So we'll drop one, and then we'll drop that like that. If we were in the same A minor position there, we could do this like this. But let me just keep it a little bit simpler. That's a kind of an exact transposition. I'm not too worried about that. I want us to learn something from Chopin to put in our own music. So I could do that, G sharp and B. So we have that. I'm going to drop those again, but just the black note. I'm going to drop the middle one. Decided to drop those, and I dropped again, kind of like, and I'm going to drop them again. So we're already learning quite a lot from Chopin with that opening movement. Let's just do that in C a minute so you can see. Could be like that, or it could be more, watch this one. Interesting, isn't it? So you're getting away from concepts and just moving your hand and seeing what you can find. B flat and D on the bottom. I could give names to those chords. That's an A7 chord, but I've come to it from just voice leading, dropping one note or another. So that's an early thing we learned from this Chopin Prelude. As I said earlier, we're just going to pick a couple of bars near the beginning and explore some possibilities that then you could create a composition or even improvise over the top of. So then after that we get this chord, F sharp, A and E, and then he does that. We then start to get this where he keeps changing one note but keeping the others. So clever this, look at that. Beautiful stuff. So think about where we were again with A minor. You could start doing this one. You could take that up. You can move the bottom one, see what you find. Move the top. Move the bottom. Some of this is more avant-garde tonally. But interesting, isn't it? You're just moving the thumb. See what you find, yeah? Find one that you like, drop your pinky. The pinky's dropping. All that came from, let's go, just drop in the little finger. Let's go from C. So drop the little finger, drop the middle, drop both of them, drop the bottom, drop the thumb, drop your thumb, drop the middle, drop the bottom. And then you could improvise over the top if you like as well. Let's do it in C. There's a massive lesson just from the opening of this Chopin Prelude. And just before we finish, look at the melody. This note, this C against this B, is really there to make that B sound sad. Imagine if it went, imagine if the melody went. It doesn't work, of course, but it's a happy note there. But Chopin doesn't do that. He does this, what's called a flat nine or a diminished second, and back. So think about that, look. So maybe if you were transposing that, you might think, well, if we were doing that A minor, I might go. Or if you were in, let's say you were in C, you could even use the B to the C, look, on the A minor. Such a difference if it goes opposed to. If you had a C minor chord, you might try the D to the E flat. Let's keep dropping the fingers. I'll keep this the same. Again, I'm just. So there you go, there's been a little forensics examination of the opening few bars of that Chopin. Hopefully you can take on board and then explore in your own compositions, as I said. So please like and subscribe if you find these videos useful. I think I might do a few more dipping into some of these great composers and seeing what we can learn from them texturally, compositionally and structurally. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.